Shalom, my friends. Welcome to another Open the Armory video. Today, I really wanted to record a vlog earlier in the day, but it did not really go as planned. But I want to set the example of, even when things do not go as planned, that you can still persevere and push forward. Today, I wanted to share with you a few of my thoughts on this video that I watched a little while ago called Addiction. And I'll put a link in the description, but it was a really powerful animated video about how most people's perspective on addiction is very flawed and results in responding to it in a skewed way. For example, most people think that, for example, if you were to take heroin, you would develop this chemical dependency, and certainly there is a chemical element, but if that was the most powerful and most important element, then what you would see is people taking the drug and then everyone having the same struggles getting off of it chemically, because if that's the biggest factor, then that would be the biggest struggle for all those people, but that is not what you see. And there was an experiment done that people refer to as Rat Park, and they started out, before they did Rat Park, they just had a rat alone in a cage with access to a certain drug that would stimulate it, and it just went at it over and over again until it died. Meanwhile, or in the second experiment, they put the rat in a park, what they called Rat Park, where he had other rats, all the the different kinds of food he could want, all the different things like the tubes he could run through, the wheels he could run on, and all of those things. And what happened was, even though he had the same access to the amount of drugs that he had in the solitary confinement type situation, these rats would not act the same way, and they would not even touch barely the drug there. And that was fascinating. So what I was learning from this video was that it's not so much about the chemicals, it's about the cage of circumstances. It is about the absence of connection. Human beings long to bond with something. They long to have that sense of relief that comes from bonding with a smartphone, with a drug, with a television, with a YouTube video. And when they do not have that genuine, sincere desire satisfied by human interaction and association and satisfaction and occupation, then they long for some counterfeit, some form of comfort that can give them some sort of relief. Human nature is to bond with something, and that is exactly what happens. You either bond with other people in a healthy environment, or you long for that bond so much that you clutch, you grasp, you thrust yourself onto some counterfeit comforter. So the path out of unhealthy bonds with substances, with technology, is to form healthy bonds. It is not all about detoxing and rehab and this or that. What really needs to be rehabilitated is to formulate habits in your life where you are occupied with productive activity and you have that satisfaction of actually forming those human bonds. In the absence of those, you will suffer. One of the quotes from the video is that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, but the opposite of addiction is connection. We live in a world where people have fewer close friends than they may have ever had in the history of our planet. Yet they have more floor space, they have more stuff. People are trading close friends for floor space in their houses. People are trading connection for stuff. And it used to be that people connected with each other, and nowadays we think technology brings us closer together, and it certainly has that ability. We can do great things with technology. You are watching this video because the technology is there. But my appeal to you is, if you are suffering with addiction, or you know someone suffering with addiction, is to bond. If you're the one suffering, bond with others. If you know someone suffering, bond with them. Offer them what it is that their humanity longs for, and then you can have that blessed experience of peace and contentment, and not need to watch someone suffer or suffer yourself, clinging and grasping for that bond, that intimacy, that connection, and only grasping and finding counterfeits. No amount of food, no amount of television, no amount of drugs or tobacco or alcohol is ever going to satisfy you. And what you really need is that connection with the other humans in your life and that connection with your Creator. And that is what it is all about, is those connections in your life. Because it is not good that humans should be alone. We are built to be social creatures, and I encourage you to go out and be an interactive person, to be a connected person, to connect with your community, connect with your church, connect with your immediate family, reach out to your extended family, call your mother, call your father. Be freed from those counterfeit comforters. So this is just a few of my thoughts regarding a video about addiction. I have the link in the description below, and I encourage you to check it out. Thank you for watching, and shalom, my friends.